Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Thursday, March 3rd, 2011. Well, folks, the markets are having a monstrous rally today as oil is pulling back sharply. And again, as we explained in previous videos, you have to know the parallel here. When oil goes up, the markets go down. When oil goes down, the markets go up. And that is simply what is going on today. In addition, we had some very, very positive economic news out this morning, out yesterday as well. That's having a beneficial effect. Now, it's not the end-all, be-all. It's really all about oil, but it's just adding to the momentum today. And I'll discuss all the economic news in just a couple minutes. But first, let's take a look at the USO here, folks. Take a look here. The USO continues to drop. This is your intraday. Let me zoom in here. This is your intraday right here. You can see we started out slightly lower, and oil has just fallen all day long, essentially, up until this point, which is around 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Notice how the markets have gone inverse. Right here, folks. The markets, especially once that oil started to just fall here, you can see the market just going sideways to up the whole way. All right, so again, you can clearly see the inverse nature of what the SPY is going in. And again, the SPY is mirroring the S&P 500 here on an intraday 10-minute basis. Now, a couple other things to look at here. First of all, let's take a look at gold. Gold is also getting hit. Gold is bouncing off the lows of the day, but down $1.78 on the GLD. That is a sizable drop on gold today. In addition, silver is also dropping a little bit, but silver has a ton of support right in here. And again, let me just do a little bit of analysis so you guys can understand what's going on here. See this pivot low from yesterday? See this pivot low from this morning? The silver trade is hovering right on this level. This is a major, and I repeat, major level right there to there. And look at how it's broken, but it's never confirmed below this level. If it confirms below, it's going to go to the 200 moving average. That's going to be your next spot of interest. And again, that's right around your 3310-ish level, 3312-ish level. In addition to being a key level at the 200, take a look at this. And this is your target if the silver trade breaks down. A gap fill at 3312 for major support on the SLV as well. So interesting to watch the commodities here, especially gold, silver, and oil. Oil again pulling back with gold and silver. Now think about this. Why is silver pulling back? Why is gold? Why is oil pulling back? Because all of a sudden, things in the Middle East are not looking quite as bad. Yes, Libya is still a mess. Bombing and this and that and civil war going on. But aside from that, the rest of the Middle East is very, very quiet. The longer it stays quiet, the less likely it's going to bubble up, in my opinion. And I think that's what the market's thinking as well. Because think about this. If a protest is going on here and it doesn't spread for a while, I mean, if it's going to spread during the initial stages of it. So I think, again, the markets are looking at that and saying to themselves, all right, well, maybe it's not going to happen then, and therefore oil is going to pull back because it's less fear of disruptions out of Saudi Arabia. Oil pulls back, and then ultimately the markets move higher. In addition, the fear trade, which is, all right, instability all over the Middle East, that's subsiding, and that's why you're seeing gold and silver pull back as well. So it all makes sense here beautifully, folks. But really on silver, on the SLV, you're really just following this trend line right here. If you stay above and don't confirm below, silver, in my opinion, the SLV could easily trade back up here towards the highs of the day. If you confirm below, this is your first target to the downside at 33.12 on the SLV. On the GLD, we can take a look at the intraday chart here. If we zoom out a little bit, I want you just to draw your attention right to here, folks. Take a look. See this high little pivot of this candle right here, right in this range? Look at the low of the day right there. And then the bounce on the GLD. So really some cool stuff going on. Let's take a look at the USO and find out the levels that we want to pay attention to. And again, let me just remove a couple of these trend lines that we've been using to analyze this to our chat room. And again, join the intraday stock chat at inthemoneystocks.com. Join the research center at inthemoneystocks.com. I just posted new plays on the hot charts and alerts inside the research center. They're small cap, mid cap plays. And again, they're a commodity based out of China. Get involved, folks. You want to see what's going on there. That's very, very big. All right, so again, go take a look at those. I just posted those a little while ago, and they should be big plays in the coming days if what I think is going to happen is going to happen. All right, again, you can take a free trial of the Research Center. You can take a free trial of the chat room. But again, go to In the Money Stocks and take care of it yourself. You'll be very, very happy. You'll be profitable, and you'll be making good money. All right, let's go back to the SPY, analyze the charts here. The markets, again, have worked very nicely. Now, take a look. I called a short out here on the morning session after the initial two-bar push-up right into this pivot high. See this pivot high, how the market bounced right here a few days ago on the 1st of March? Notice how you went up there, hit it, and then pulled back. That was a beautiful scalp that I called out in the intraday stock chat today for a little bit of money. I think I took about 15 or 16 cents on that trade. Some people took a little bit more, some people took a little bit less, but it was a no-brainer there off of that resistance. Then notice how it pulls back in a bull flag pattern. All right, two sharp bars up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bar consolidation inside of the green upper green candle. All of the closes inside of the upper green candle. That's an in spirit of bull flag. And sure enough, the markets take off to the upside. That should not be a surprise to anyone who knows price, pattern, or time. As the markets move up, we go dramatically through this level here. And again, methodology tells you not to short that. Why? Because it's technically the second hit right here. Second hits you do not short. Highest percentage hits are going to be your first hits. Up you go, consolidate again, pop into the blue line. The blue line again is going to be resistance. Where is that resistance line coming from? As you can see right here, little pivot top here, and going back as well. That again becomes resistance. You can see a little bit of a pullback there as well. That line gets a pullback off of, then you push through it, and now you're consolidating above in a bullish manner. So we'll see again if the market decides to take this even higher. A lot's going to depend on oil. If oil continues to fall in the afternoon session here, then I do think you have a good chance of seeing that go a little bit higher. If oil again stalls out, then the markets may just go sideways here. At this point, I think volume is going to stay light into the end of the day because tomorrow, folks, this is big. Tomorrow you have non-farm payrolls and the unemployment report. We will be doing a no-hype live broadcast in the Research Center, bringing you that number live as it comes out, showing you our charts on our screens. We're going to be going over plays off of it, off of everything that we can talk about there. Is it a bullish number, bearish number? How are the markets reacting? We're going to be watching the futures, and again, you'll be able to see that live. You'll be able to hear me live. Tune into the Research Center No Hype Live tomorrow. And again, everything listed under the Research Center is included. Take the free trial. Get involved, folks. That's my point here. And again, it's there for the taking. All right, a couple other things to go over here as we continue to look here. First off, we want to take a quick gander at the GLD again. GLD down $1.84, starting to come back in a little bit here. SLV is still pretty much staying right on that major support line. Right here, this blue line, folks, look at it where we're trading right now, exactly on that line. That is a major line for the SLV. Clearly seen here. Notice this, then notice this. And then again, it breaks here, but it doesn't confirm below, and right back there, now it's upticking just a little bit. So again, could SLV go back to the flat line? It's possible, or could it break down? Only if it confirms, and there's your target on your first breakdown, all right? So again, we'll see exactly how that plays out in the afternoon session. Chevron today is only up 28 cents. Why is Chevron so weak all of a sudden? Chevron's been roaring over the last multi-week session, multi-month session. The answer is because oil is pulling back, therefore Chevron is a little weaker. Remember, they deal in oil, so therefore profits could be a little bit less than what they were expected as of yesterday when oil was over $102 per barrel. All right, Exxon, same thing. Exxon's up a little bit, but for the most part, not as strong as the overall markets. If we take a look at the indexes, folks, the Dow is up 180 points, Nasdaq's up 51, which is 1.85%, and the S&P 500 up about 20.5, 1.6% on the day. All right, let's just take a look at a couple other things here. What else do I want to show you guys today that I think will be interesting? Solar stocks are lower today. TSL, Trina Solar, is down on the day. Why would the solar stocks be weaker today? Answer is obvious here, and that's because you have oil lower. When oil is lower, alternate energy becomes more expensive relative to oil. People can more easily buy oil to use for an energy source rather than install solar panels, for instance, which cost more. If oil goes to $125, $150 per barrel, then solar becomes very, very cheap, and those solar stocks will see more demand for their products, and the stocks will run higher. So it's all a matter of understanding supply and demand, but based off of a commodity like oil in this situation. All right, Apple Computers having a big day today. Apple, Steve Jobs unveiled the iPad 2. Apple, again, with a nice solid day, going sideways at this point, up $6.50. Very solid move. I do have a level at 358 to 360 here. Let me just show you this on the charts, guys. 358 to 360 on the chart here. Let me zoom in, and I have it right here. Right from here to here, there's a resistance area right in this range. And again, you can see how Apple's stalling right out in the intraday and just going sideways around that 358 to 360 level. All right, so that's interesting as well. I'm just trying to see exactly what else is moving here. Let's take a look across the board here. How about JP Morgan is having a good big day today. JP Morgan after ugly day. And by the way, the financials were getting just decimated yesterday afternoon into the close. It was a very, very ugly afternoon for them. As you can see, JPM rolled over to the lows of the day. But that's all ancient history at this point as the market continues to move up on a weaker oil price. Taking a look at the dollar. Dollar's always important to look at here. Dollar's basically flat, been flat all day essentially. But again, it all comes down to oil today, folks. Oil down and also economic news. Like I said, I'd talk about the economic news. I'll briefly do it now. now. This morning we got jobless claims. Jobless claims dropped 20 more thousand to 368,000. That's a very good jobless claims number, folks. We're now in the midish to high 300,000 level. And again, that tells me that the non-farm payrolls number tomorrow should be very, very good. I'm expecting a 200,000 plus number, maybe even higher tomorrow. The question is, will the markets enjoy it? And that's the bigger thought process here. All right, and the reason I say that is, and everyone would just the obvious amateur kind of thought process would be, oh yeah, good economic news is great for the market. Markets should go higher. But the problem is you have to look at the bigger picture here. And once you have good economic news really coming out, interest rates are going to start to creep up. The 4-year is going to start to go towards 4%. If it hits 4%, this market's going to freak out. All right. In addition, the more positive the economic news, the less likely the Fed is going to continue stimulus. And the market is driving off that drug. Stimulus is a drug, folks. And the market is loving that drug. So it's not as clear cut as just saying, all right, well, positive economic news equals a higher market. It's not that easy. Trust me on that one. All right. Now, again, could the markets go a little higher? Sure, they can. Sure, they can. If oil pulls back another $5, I think the markets can go back to the 52-week highs very easily. But again, at some point, interest rates are going to start to go up. Watch those very closely. And also, the Fed is going to have to eventually cut back on stimulus or cut it off in total. And I don't think the market's going to be very happy with that, since that's been what's driving this market up via POMO and QE2 over the past 6 months or so. All right, guys, let's go back to the spiders. And by the way, the SLV is holding and going higher now. SLV just down 35 cents. Amazing to see that, again, hold that level. The spiders here are just going sideways, but take a look at the SLV. I gave you guys that level, and you're not confirming below. Now look at the SLV starting to climb. So again, still a little bit of a bearish flag, but this is the line you have to watch. If this line doesn't get taken out and confirmed below, and here it got taken out, but you never confirmed. Confirmation is something we teach in the Research Center, folks, for those of you that are newer to these videos. So you want to join the Research Center. And again, just take the free trial. Easy enough to do. All right, enough said. Have a great afternoon, great evening. I'll talk to you later. Join the Research Center, join the chat room, and take the webinar.